We're going to talk about Amazon's AI and Amazon's AWS web services, their approach to multiple models, and their investment in Anthropic and what they're doing. Um, in case you didn't know it, I don't know how many of you have heard of AWS before. AWS stands for Amazon's Web Services, and they have over 100 data centers all over the world. They are about 30% of the cloud. If you look at other people like Netflix and Uber and Lyft and other people, they are using Amazon's cloud services in order to power their own cloud capabilities. And so AWS is a big part of Amazon's business. When Jeff Bezos stepped aside from running the company actively, his replacement came from the Amazon Web Services side, not from the retail side. But they built up so much infrastructure to handle their retail operations. They made it a service, and it's been one of the biggest service providers of compute capability in the world for a long time. Basically, it's elastic compute capability. They call it the elastic cloud is their official name for it. So they're big in this business. They have a huge amount of computing power. It's estimated they have anywhere from 1.5 to 2 million CPUs if you add up all the CPUs in their data centers. It's just amazing. Amazon has been designing their own chips. One of the chips they have for AI that they've come out with is Trainium, and they have another one called Inferentia. So Amazon does buy chips from other people, but they actually run their own AI chips to power their own AI technology. And part of the investment they've made with Anthropic is that Amazon, or Anthropic rather, will use AWS for their computing capability, and they will use Amazon's chips for their AI technology. Anthropic makes the Claude generative AI tool and a couple of others, and they're very highly regarded. So Amazon's Anthropic partnership is important, and they are Anthropic's primary cloud provider. And Anthropic is going to train and deploy their future foundation models, which is a type of model using Trainium and Inferentia chips. A foundation model is a model that's trained on general topics. It's not trained for a specific task. Generally, when you hear people talk about a machine language or a large language model is trained on language. But a foundation model is trained on general purpose activity, and you can use it for specialized tools. And it's really very beneficial because people don't have to build their own models. So they are going to be focusing on cost savings. Right now, AI is really expensive, uses a lot of compute power, and they feel as though their Trainium and their Inferentia chips are going to lower the costs. There are tools that's already being used for Alexa, for machine language learning models. It's being used by Dataminr and Finch Computing. And what you're going to see Amazon doing is Amazon is not going to be so much out front with AI. Anthropic will be, but Amazon provides AI services as a compute service to other organizations, and that's their focus. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit about that part of Amazon, what's going on. So that's one thing that is Amazon is doing in AI. So anybody have any questions or comments about their partnership with Anthropic and their chips? Amazon's AWS is a service. So if you want to go out and build a application that does something for people and uses AI to help do speech to text or other things, I'm going to show you a lot of the different services that Amazon offers. Anthropic makes a foundation model, but Amazon also has a whole series of pre-trained machine learning models that they make available as a service for people to use. Amazon's pushing this service called Amazon Bedrock. They have actually called it the easiest way to build and scale generative AI applications. And they are giving people the ability to choose AI models. They are not locking themselves into one AI model. A lot of venture capital firms have been buying up NVIDIA and AMD chips, which are what are preferred for AI models in advance of AI startups because they know the AI startups need this. But Amazon is saying, we're going to give you a service, compute service, and you can choose different AI models to work with this. So that's what they're offering as part of Bedrock. It gives you a choice of models. And how it works is that you get a range of leading foundation models. You can build agents that dynamically connect to them. They build in security. So let's take a look at this feature page here. And they're building models from Anthropic. They have Jurassic 2, they have Titan, they have Llama 2, Stable Diffusion XL. So they're giving you the ability to say, if you're a developer of an application or a service, you can choose whatever model you use and choose an AI model for the best results you want to accomplish things. Now, obviously, they won't have Google's model because Google's model runs in Google's cloud. They won't have ChatGPT or OpenAI models because they run in Microsoft's cloud. So you're seeing the cloud computing companies develop strategies around how they want to compete with each other. And Amazon's taking the strategy, yes, we have Anthropic, but guess what? We've got Meta's AI model if you want to run that one, or we've got Stability if you want to run that one. And so they're giving application developers and systems integrators and custom developers the ability to do a lot of things. So Deloitte, for example, is using Amazon's machine learning for customer sentiment, which uses AI to tell how a customer is feeling about a call with a call center while they're on the call, just not from the keywords. They're actually analyzing the tone and the phrases that they use and the kind of interaction they have. And if a call center rep is having a problem with the customer, the AI can flag it and ask the call center rep to transfer it to a different person that is better capable of handling that issue. So we're going to see there's a lot of ways AI is being used at the back end for a lot of things these way. And we'll take a look at some of these Amazon tools that are out there. So it's just really remarkable what they're doing with these things. Now, this is a screenshot. We're going to take a look at their website. If you just look at Amazon's AWS services, they offer a whole range of tools. They offer storage, but they also offer end user computing. You can get a virtual Windows machine, a virtual Unix machine. You can get systems with business applications, blockchain, analytics, everything in there. They've just got a lot of compute tools that are there that you can use as is, or you can even build applications on top of them if you want to. So Amazon is really big in providing these tools for other companies to develop solutions. And a lot of people don't think of Amazon as that kind of a business, but this is a very significant portion of their business. And if you look at what investment analysts look at, they look at how much business is Amazon getting from AWS, and they look at Microsoft. They want Microsoft, Google, and Amazon to break out what they're doing with their cloud computing and their services to get an idea of what those types of tools are developing in terms of revenue. So there's just an amazing amount of tools. We're going to take a look at them here. So I just want you to be aware that Amazon is not just for shopping, and most of you probably know that, but it's remarkable how deep you can go with this if you're interested. Most people's conception of Amazon is that's where I get my, shoes delivered from, or where I buy, a new something and get it delivered the next day. And they probably have an idea about Amazon logistics because of their trucks and logistics centers, but AWS has been around for a while, but AWS has become a really expanded function of Amazon because, like I say, they're 30% of the cloud. You're going to be amazed at some of the companies we'll see that use AWS and some of the resources they have. And this is the AWS service. You can actually create an AWS account for free. It's any individual can create an AWS account, and what we have access to is products. And as I mentioned, all of these products, and within each product, there's a tremendous amount of research that they have. So they have financial services, they have business analytics, they have entity pipelines, they have things they call like glue to tie things together. They have application integration that helps tie different applications together. They do blockchain and manage blockchain ledgers, business applications. They provide a lot of tools for businesses directly. So they have a contact center application, a shopping, dash cart shopping, marketing, supply chain, the free retail checkout. They make these available. They have productivity, but they typically do not make them direct to consumer. And that's why we tend not to see them. So somebody like a Netscape or a Netflix, for example, would have a recommendation engine, but they don't necessarily run the web AI, the web tools that run that. They would provide that by something else. So financial management, compute power, a contact center, containers for holding on to different containers, database tools, developer tools. Their developer tools are just tremendous. End user computing, they provide a few. They have a workspaces family. So I'm going to open this link in a new tab here. We're a little bit off AI, but what it is, it's a virtual desktop. Okay, so you can get a virtual desktop and they have family pricing that you can get from this. We'll open up another link here. And what it gives you, okay, so you get workspaces, you can work across the cloud, and basically you can get a virtual CPU with 2 gigs of memory, 80 gigs of storage space for $23 a month. Okay, so that's a Ubuntu Linux. You can get a Windows bundle license where you have a Windows computer as a virtual computer. So you can rent a Windows computer essentially that you can use from the web. So virtual machine says it's not a physically dedicated piece of hardware that runs that system. It's a virtual software created machine for you in that sense. So there aren't too many tools that we would use as compute individuals, but there are things like games that are available. They have tools for creating games. Internet of Things. Amazon is really big in Internet of Things, obviously, with their Echo product and what they have for those types of things. They have machine learning. We're going to look at a little bit more management, media services. Of course, Amazon has Amazon Prime, so they're very good at media services too. Let's take a look at machine learning here, for example. You can just use Bedrock, but they also have something called SageMaker, which is a building, training, and deploying machine learning. They have an augmented AI tool where they have the ability for you to get human review of machine learning. They have something called Code Guru, Code Whisperer, Comprehend Medical, which extracts health data. Okay, so I'm going to open up this link here and we'll see. Okay, so Amazon Comprehend Medical. What it does is extracts information okay, from unstructured medical text. What it's used is to pull information from doctor's notes, clinical trial reports, and identify relationships. For most medical text is totally unstructured, but what it does is it uses a natural language processing that's been pre-trained to understand and extract health data such as text, prescriptions, procedures, or diagnosis. So it's being used for insurance claim processing, population health, scaling pharmacovigilance, medical cohort. It's being used by places like Houston Methodist. They created what they call hands-free digital voice assist. They have an automated member care. So this is how you're seeing it utilized, is that you may not see Amazon directly, but you will see Amazon behind a service that you look at and want to utilize. So these are different services. They have inference, forecasting, fraud detection. A lot of banks and financial institutions have to have fraud detection for when credit card is used incorrectly. So if I go to fraud detection, let's see what it pulls up. Get started with Amazon fraud detection. You can take advantage of their machine learning, and you can plug that into your system and utilize with it for many, many purposes. So they have ways for you to look at it and doing a whole wide range of fraud detection. Fraud detection is really important in a lot of aspects of technology. So we go back to machine learning, and Kendra is enterprise search, Lex, voice and text chatbots. Look out for metrics, look out for vision. They have computer vision detection for manufacturing purposes. Okay, so let's see, automated quality control here. Let's get to, okay, so they let you create a machine learning model to spot anomalies from a visual process and identify defective parts. General Electric's using it, Newcon, identify missing components, part damage. So it's really utilized, and they're the back end engine, and they're providing all of these pre-trained models to give people the ability to deal with things. Okay, so one of the things they have is a recommender system. They have a pre-trained model that gives personalized recommendations. So this is what they use at Amazon Prime. Okay, so when you go to Amazon Prime and you're looking at your, that says based on what you've watched before, we recommend these things. So you add your data, but it can be used by anybody that has a need for personalizing recommendations. Obviously, Amazon is using this for shopping to recommend products and Prime, but this is where a lot of our content consumption is going for a lot of uses. So what it does is it optimizes recommendations, and you can target customers more effectively. And they have this little free demo here that we can go through. So if you want to use this demo, so Amazon's really great at providing this little tool. So if you want to recommend movies with Amazon personalized, let's say you're a movie, streaming service, we can start. So in this game, we play the role of a user looking for movie recommendations, and you can help me pick out the movies. Initially, Amazon doesn't know anything about your interests, right? Because we're a brand new customer. They don't know who we are. We don't know the services we like. But let's find out. So they have a catalog of almost 62,000 movies with 25 million ratings from 162,000 users. So they already have this because of Amazon Prime. And also they run another service that they own called the Independent Movie Database, which is used in the show business industry, but by consumers as well, to find out who was that actor in that film and what films of certain performers bid. So we're going to pick the role of, we're going to play a new user, we're going to play the game, and then we're going to pick some movies, and we're going to see how the recommendations change based on our choices. So we'll become a new user. I'll call myself Bob, and I'll pick a profile here, and we will start. So the cold start, let's find some popular movies, okay? So they're going to show some popular movies. This is all done by the software. What are some popular movies? So you tell me which. I have to pick 5. So you can tell me, I'll scroll over them. GoldenEye, Mortal Kombat, Quick and the Dead, Cliffhanger. I kind of like that one. What, anybody see any movies here they feel are important, want to pick?
Yeah. Hunt for Red October. You just passed it. All the way on the
They're
left.
on the left. Okay. Okay. And anything else?
Enemy of the State in the same row. I don't read as fast as you as
Enemy of
fast
the
as you
State.
scroll.
Okay.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And so they just showed me a bunch of popular movies. Okay. So I got to pick one more. Zero Dark 30. Okay. So now, and of course, now I was on action. I could go comedy, drama. I could go to, if I want to go to, say, comedy here, it brings me a bunch of different ones, popular ones that are up here. So I can pick, something out of this for my 5th one to kind of throw it off a little bit. Let's take Father of the Bride. Okay. And we'll see the recommendations here. So it's going through its whole catalog, and now it will come up with movie recommendations for me based on the movies I told it I like. So here's the top recommendations. Okay. And it gives me a recommendation score. Now, for users, when they're using AI, they will not see necessarily a recommendation score like this, but they might see a percentage recommendation, right? But this is actually the recommendation engine's score on things that they thought I would be interested in. Now, the more I like it, the movies, the more it learns about me, and the better it can come up with recommendations based on the types of people that like these movies and other activities too. So this is happening on music streaming services, video streaming services, books that you read, everything, things that you buy at grocery stores. So this is in the grocery stores, there used to be a system where you'd buy something, and based on what you bought, you'd get a paper coupon. Streaming services find that getting you back is important. So they'll have some things like not only recommendations, but highly rated movies. Some will be the same, hidden gems that you might not have missed, that you might have missed. And then you can also see popular movies. And so and then you can finish. So for anybody that runs any kind of e-commerce or online service that wants to provide resources for people, they do that. They get to know you pretty well. So that's just one of the tools that are out there. They have tools like health imaging, okay, or Health Scribe, or Health Lake. We looked at Personalize, Amazon Transcribe. They have a text-to-speech, service as well. But they have all kinds of libraries. They have an AWS Deep Racer, an autonomous 1/18 scale car driven by AI. Interesting. Okay, so you can get hands-on machine learning through a 3D racing simulator that powers a fully autonomous 1/18 scale race car driven by reinforcement. So another way to learn about machine learning. These are done in schools and colleges and other places like that, that they offer for projects that people might be looking at. They also have a partner network that they have that gives you the ability to connect with partners that use AWS. And they also have what's called AWS marketplace. They have a marketplace that people that have create and deploy third-party software like operating systems, security, networking, storage, development operation. They have a lot of events. They have events that take place every year. They are doing reInvent 2023 in Las Vegas. They have much more in detail. They have a learnings resource that explains what these tools are and how to develop for AWS as well, and a lot of different documentation. Deloitte, which you may or may not be familiar with, is a big user of Amazon services. What they do is Amazon has a contact center tool that provides call sentiment analytics to agents, okay? And Deloitte has integrated this in solutions. They show what types of applications are used for it and how to actually use it. So this is another form of application development that people are using in order to take advantage of some Amazon predefined services that they want to use. There are services out there in the medical industry like AI Cure that are using tools to enhance drug development using Amazon's AI services. They're using it to help manage clinical trials. And so you may not see Amazon doing this directly, but you'll see people like Predictive AI Cure coming up with applications for creating clinical trial management solutions and doing AI analysis of the tools for you. So they are basically creating a toolbox for other organizations to use to be able to take advantage of their AI machine learning models and their AI resources that they have available for people to utilize. So their products are many besides just machine learning, but they have professional services, they have third-party experts, they have announcements about them and training and certification programs as well. So that if you really want to go on and become a solutions architect or a cloud practitioner or developer, machine learning expert, and apply it, they have certification programs and training events for people as well. So it's a whole huge business around providing compute services to other organizations that want to learn about them. It's just an amazing set of resources that they have for virtually everything that people might want to be able to develop in the cloud.